Alright, here's a compilation of a bunch of my Jupiter videos. I got some pictures also included into this video. It's a little bit of a long one, but I thought I'd just show you most of them in full. I could have cut them all up, chopped them all up, but I figured what the heck, I did let you see them taken the way that I'm taking them. And let's see here. Alright, this was taken 5/12/2016, and this was at about 5:54 p.m. And I've got several videos taken throughout the year, but I thought these were really nice because it started making me realize something about the camera focus. When you're actually focused in, you'll be able to see a big difference between it being a star or it being a planet. Plus, you know, pictures also help you decide what you're going to get on this. Now this next video, I think I'm going to show you a different view of it. I'm going to change the contrast in it just a little bit. Just to bring out the moons a little bit better. Alright? Hang on, it'll be right up. Alright, this was taken around the same time. It was the same day, 5/12/2016, about 5:55. Taking some short videos that night. And like I say, you can see when I believe too I was on autofocus on these. I wasn't even using the manual focus, so it was pretty interesting. And I think I was on the moon setting. This was, you know, back at the beginning of the year, so it's a little harder for me to remember, but you can obviously see the moons. And that's when I know I'm in focus for sure. Now too, if I take and change the contrast a little bit, you'll notice that you'll be able to see the moons just a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe I'm looking at my feet. I'm probably looking up at the sky at the same time I'm videoing this. I do that a lot just so I can, you know, see maybe a bird or plane fly in front of what I'm zoomed in on. And sometimes that happens. I see that a lot with the moon. I get birds flying in front of it. Which it did the other night when I was shooting the supermoon. Few birds flew in front of it. Then sometimes I get dragonflies, bugs, you know, when I'm videotaping during the day. But you can definitely see these moons a little bit better in here. And on a nice line underneath it, you know, which is pretty cool. Some of these I see 3, and then on some I see 4. I don't know if I've seen 5 yet, possibly, but I think most of them are 3 and 4. Now, the funny thing too is on Jupiter. Jupiter's 365 million miles away, and that's at its closest. At its farthest point, which would be, I guess, on the other side of the sun, it's 601 million miles. So, you know, does this look like I should be able to zoom in and get this good of a focus on something this far away? You know, and this is a gaseous planet, so you know, you look at this and you look at Saturn. Saturn's another planet that I can usually get a video on. But most of the other ones, I don't quite get as good of a video. And those are the ones that are more of a solid planet, so say, science. But it does make you wonder why I can get a good visual on these ones at the distances they are, and I can't get as good on Mars. I can't get as good on Venus. I mean, I'm getting better at it. I got some good pictures tonight of Venus, and I'm hoping to get some more tomorrow morning, possibly on Jupiter. It depends on when I get my butt up. But if I can, I will. Now this next one that's coming up here, which is right about now, it should be changing over. Yeah, well, maybe I'm wrong. Here we go. I got a little bit of moonshot in here. So I hope you like the moon. And along with the moon, Jupiter's just above it and to the left in this video. And I remember taking this video. And let's see. This was taken the same night, a little bit later, 5/12/2016 at 6:48 p.m. So earlier I was catching Jupiter just as it was coming up and the moon was following behind it. It's a pretty good moon video. As far as what I'm seeing, it seems to be pretty sharp. But other than that, I mean, you know, when you put these videos on YouTube, sometimes they don't come out quite as nice as what I was hoping them to. I don't know if it's YouTube doing something or if it's just the version program that I got to convert these into streamable videos. Because if you don't convert them, you can't put them on YouTube. And I basically got a cheap program. Well, hopefully here in the future, maybe I'll get a better program. Never know. Now there you go. There's Jupiter above it, above the moon. You also see how the moon is just a big white light, big white blob. Well, because most of the time we're just getting the light source off of it. We're not getting no detail until we're able to zoom up closer to it. So without zooming in, I won't get as good of a. I'll just get this white blobby little light right now. Okay, and as I zoom in, I'm going to get a little bit better detail. And then also you should be able to start seeing the moons of Jupiter. I again got the contrast turned down a little bit on this to make the moon stand out a little bit better. And then one of these videos, like I say, I usually will tell you if I'm manipulating the video at all. And like I said, I turn the contrast down just to -10. And like I said, it brings out the stars a little bit more. Or, you know, brightens them up to where you can actually see them. I think it just brightens the screen up to where you can see it. Even though I'm not using the brightness at all. Or the saturation. But on one of these, and I'll let you know, like I said, I'm going to play around with the contrast, the saturation, and the brightness all in one. And see how that comes out. Alright? And the next video is coming up here. And we'll try to do the same thing with that one. And this again was the same day, 5/12/2016 at 6:49. Now I got this one on manual focus, and you will obviously be able to see when I actually do get it into focus, because you'll be able to see the moons. And when the moons are, or when you out of focus a little bit, the moons kind of disappear. Like right there, you really can't see the moons. And again, you know, I get it back into focus here. These moons will stick out a little bit better. And that's when you know you're more or less getting a much better focus on it. And so Jupiter really has been a turning point to me as, you know, when I view these stars. Now, I'm not saying that some of these stars are not in or out of focus, but I'll be doing more star videos, and I'll be trying to show you my best focus that I think I can get my camera on for some of these stars. And I'll be doing little videos just like this, try to prove that point that, you know, sometimes we're assuming that this is what this star looks like. So this is a planet though, and you know, it is a little bit different than zooming in on the stars. Alright, here's another one. I believe this is the same night. Yeah, it's the same night, 5/12/2016 at about 6, I think it was just after 6:49. Yeah, actually it was about 6:51 when I did this video. Wait a minute here, I may be wrong. I might have to change all my dates on this, because I got 4/17. 2016 at 9:50 when it was created. I'm looking at the date I put it in my file. I put all my Jupiter videos in one file. So let's see here. Let me go back here and see if, yeah, they're all the same. So strike that date, please. I was wrong. Yeah, yeah, and one of my other ones was, let's see, the one with the moon was 8/24/2016 at 11 o'clock. So yeah, some of these other videos were definitely at different times. And another nice little video of the moon too. I love catching the moon with a nearby star. It's pretty impressive when you get to see those. Alright, we'll see what this next video has to do with. I'm not quite sure, but we'll check this next one out. It'll be coming up here real shortly. Alright, for sure this one was 8/21/2016 at 7:32 p.m. And this was one I was up on top of the observation tower near the coast, and I was shooting out over the water. It was windy that day, so there was a lot of vibration in here. But I liked the video anyhow, mainly for the end, but also to just give you a different look at this. I think I was on a different setting, and that's why you're getting a little more color to it. And I don't believe that I did anything to this one. Let me. No, I'm leaving this one alone, and the only thing I think I was set on the fireworks setting on this one. Don't ask me why. Like I said, I try to play around with some of the settings and the different settings in there to try to get the best I can. So sometimes I'll sit out there and fumble around with different settings, like the sunset setting, the moon setting, fireworks setting, and then I'll play with the sports mode, which a lot of times the sports mode is really nice because you can do the manual focus. But I think I wasn't on it. I think I was on an autofocus, and also, I wasn't getting really none of the moons, which was kind of dissatisfying for me because that's what I was hoping to catch with some of the moons. And here you go here. I'm not sure what the other star up in the upper left-hand corner was. I guess if you went on Stellarium, you could find out by the date. And this was at sunset, and this was in Central Florida, west coast of Central Florida. And you see the palm trees at the bottom look like seaweed floating in an ocean with the wind blowing. So it's pretty cool. I just thought it was a nice little video to show along with all my other Jupiter videos. And then there's right after this one, there's another little short one that I think you'll like also. Shows more of the horizon and more of after the sun had already gone away, got farther from us. So when that one pops up, I think there's another little short one, and then there's a long one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change my battery. Let me do it now. Alright, this was one I was on manual focus. So here we go, focusing it in. And I'm going to do a couple of different things with this one. I believe I'm going to put a UV lens on it and a polarizer. I believe this is the one. So let's watch it. And as I see things, I'll explain things to you. Okay. Alright, this is getting it in focus, and you can see when I'm in focus again, and then how I go out of focus. You can see the shape of it. Compare it to some of the other stars that we see that people have been videotaping. So again, are they focusing in on the actual object, or are we just focusing in on the light? This is the light. To me, I'm focusing in on the light that this thing is emitting. Not so much focusing, when I'm actually in focus, you see the moons. So what is this? This is out of focus. It's got to be out of focus, or it's in focus, but I'm focused on the light, and again, not so much the planet. Even though you see the round object in the center of it, that actually could be the planet, but when I focused it back down, you notice how that it's kind of all blending away, and the whole thing gets smaller. And again, we're getting smaller, 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 and I'm not quite there. Not quite there. And here we go, a little smaller, and there we go. Oh, right there is more or less in focus. You see the stars twinkling. So now I know I'm in focus, because everything else is in focus too with it. Okay, and again, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong, and that could be the focus right here. A donut. Homer Simpson would like to get a hold of that big donut, I'll tell you that. But he'd be full of gas, because Jupiter's a gaseous planet. And how does a gaseous planet work in a vacuum? Anybody ever think of that question? If you got this planet that's just nothing but gas, and it's out there in a vacuum, what's keeping it together? Why ain't it getting sucked apart? I mean, good questions to ask. So again, this video here was taken 10/26/16 at 6 a.m. So that was a couple weeks ago. So again, is this in focus or is it out of focus? These are questions that you'll have to ask yourself, and I know these all these stars that us YouTubers are putting out, they look absolutely wonderful, but you always got to remember, are they actually in focus? Or are we capturing the light with these cameras? Because these are definitely not telescopes. But it does make me question why I can get Jupiter and Saturn, but again, I can't get as good of videos of some of these closer planets. So again, it makes me wonder what I'm actually capturing. But the more I use my camera and the different settings, I might have to set some of the settings a little bit differently if I want to capture, say, Mars closer. So I'm working on, trying all different settings and focuses, and trying to capture the right focus for it. So, I will continue to put out videos and try to give you the best focus, or give you my opinion of when I think it's in focus. So, again, it's all what the viewer wants to decide on what they want to believe. But again, I hope I'm putting some light on the subject to try to show the difference in a more open view. Again, I don't want to try to Photoshop one of these and make it look all crazy and wild, and say that that's actually what you're seeing, and that's actually the planet. Because I know that my camera is capable of capturing the light. And I personally think that that's what a lot of people are catching with their cameras, is the light that these planets are emitting, and not so much the planet itself. Not saying that they're not beautiful, because they are. Alright, this one was taken on 11/1/2016. Probably approximately 2 weeks ago. At about 5:38 a.m. And this one, there was a little bit of foggy cloudiness right as it was coming closer. And it was blocking me out a little bit. So clouds do block out stars. Sometimes you can get them a star shining, you know, a real bright one. And this is bright. This is bright. But you can see that just came out of the clouds. A little thicker clouds were right there. And it's a unique one. I like this video right here. This one definitely gives you a different outlook. You can start seeing the stars or the moons of Jupiter around it. And I'm not sure if I'm on manual focus on this one or not. It might be autofocus. That's why you see the moon's kind of flashing there a little bit. Trying to keep it centered a little bit more. And I don't think I'm at quite full zoom. Or I might be. Different settings, you don't quite get the same zoom distance on it. So again, you know, all the people that have the Nikon Coolpix P900, try it in different settings, and also use that manual focus. I think that'll help you actually get the true image of the star. Even if it's a far off star, you will get an image. Also too, I find if you've got your ISO set up too high or you know, too low sometimes, depending on the star or the planet that you're zooming in on. That's why I try different focuses, different settings, different frame rate, and just trying to get the best image I can for you. Jupiter is one of them that you can really definitely get a good image on. And again, I believe I said it was 365 million miles away. Saturn's 746 million miles away. And I can get two of these planets good images on video. But not so much on Mars. I get better pictures of Mars and Venus than I do of some of the other ones. Alright, I got a bunch of pictures coming up. I think you'll like these pictures. And then I have more toward the end of the video, or right at the end of the video, that I think you'll appreciate too. And here comes some pictures. And there's the date and the year and the time. And some of these I took consecutively, one right after the other. We're pretty close to it. Like I said, you got to be patient too. Sometimes you'll get one, let's see, like this, where it gets all out of focus. It flares up. That's not really what you're getting. But look at it. It's got a face in it. It's interesting. Okay? So I do laugh at that because a lot of them I get, you can see faces in them. But let's not get too far off the point of these. You know, we want to try to get the best image, try to find out really exactly what we're looking at. And here's another good one. There's 4 moons there. Alright, another little short video. Got some roosters in with this one.
One more time up.
Alright, on this one I got a polarizer and a UV lens on the camera. Thought I'd give it a try. You can put either one or both of them on there to get a different look. Now, I didn't really much care for the polarizer and the UV lens at the same time. It wasn't giving me a very good image. It was kind of a blurry image. And then you'll see some of the other things that I do. I take the UV lens off, and I might pop in again and tell you more.
We're getting the same kind of image. No. Let's take the lens off. It's on the infinity mark. Okay, let's bring it down. Let's take it back up. going to shoot over to
Alright, and this one I get to manipulate it. So I manipulated the saturation rate, the contrast, and the brightness. I set the contrast up 100%, saturation rate 100%, and I've got the brightness set at, I do believe it's plus 25, somewhere in there. But this is what you get. So I create my own little Star Wars here. Now I don't know where this light's coming from, whether it's coming from the program that's in the computer, if it's coming from the light sources from up there in our heavens. I don't know. So it's a good question that I have. Where does this light actually come from? I mean, you see it actually shooting right out of Jupiter, and you even see them hitting the moons. And you see other ones coming by, blue ones. See red coming out of Jupiter. So it makes you wonder. Gives you a little mystery to these. Even with nothing in the screen, you see blue streaks go by. And I can change that in the program. I can manipulate a little bit differently. Right there, you seen a red one hit the moon, hit that moon. It's interesting. Now, can I make assumptions about this? Yes. I can make all kinds of assumptions, but they say we live in an electromagnetic world. This might be the way that we get to see how they're connected. They might be connected with a beam of light that we don't see in our eyes, but it's there, and somehow my camera's picking it up. Who knows? a good question. But I'm going to let this play through the way that it is, and we'll see what y'all think. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Hope you enjoyed my my explanation and all my photographs. But this one I'm going to leave you with a little mystery on. So if you like, subscribe. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. If you do like it, give me a thumbs up. But I'm trying to bet my best to give you the best photographs and best videos I can of what these stars actually are, without really manipulating them. But, you know, like I said, if I manipulate something, I'm going to tell you, just like I'm doing with this one. I'm manipulating the hell out of it. But I just thought you'd like to see it. Let me try to see if I can't change a little bit of the settings on this next go around. Hang on. Okay, I changed it again. You get a little less of it. It's not quite as dominant. But I actually took the the contrast down to -12. Left the saturation rate up, and turned the light down too, but it's still in the plus. Alright, again, I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I'll let this play out, and y'all have a good night, good day, whatever, but peace to the world.